Welcome to You and Your Money. Today's episode features Jonathan Mathews, Associate Vice President, Wealth Advisor at WHZ Strategic Wealth Advisors.
There's a lot to talk about on how millennials and Gen Z have struggled compared to earlier generations to buy their first home and get on strong financial footing in the midst of inflation and other challenges. How do the new policies in the federal budget bill help them?
Right. Well, at WHZ, we do work with many clients in what we call their accumulator years, and that's when they're actively building careers, families, wealth. So we've seen the challenge you're talking about, Wayne. The legislation includes several provisions that could be game changers for that demographic. One of the most immediate benefits is targeted tax relief for earned income. The act eliminates federal income taxes on things like tip income and overtime income. The maximum annual deduction of $25,000 for tips and $12,500 for overtime compensation, or $25,000 for married couples filing jointly.
Well, more money in your paycheck, never a bad thing. What about student loans? That's a huge burden for so many of our younger listeners.
This is where the law will hopefully shine for those younger Americans. The OBBBA fundamentally restructures federal student loans. Many people that have student loans are probably getting notifications in the mail or an email about it, but starting July 1st, 2026, borrowers will choose between two options, a standard repayment plan or something called the WRAP plan. That's an income-driven plan that allows payments between 1% and 10% of your income for up to 30 years. But even better than that, the law expands employer student loan payment benefits, excluding up to $5,250 per employee in employer loan payments for taxable income. So what does it do? It encourages more companies to offer the benefit of student loan payment benefits to attract that young talent.
Does this mean employers can essentially help pay off your student loans tax-free?
That's right. It's a win-win. So employees get help with their loans without paying taxes on the assistance, and employers get a powerful tool to attract and retain that younger talent.
What about saving for education? I know a lot of young parents are worried about college costs for their kids.
Great question. The law significantly expands 529 education savings accounts. Folks might be familiar with the 529. We've talked about that in some other sessions, but these accounts are used, they were limited mainly to college expenses, but that's been expanded to now a lot more. They can be used for K through 12 education materials, testing fees, tutoring, and even trade certifications now. But the real game changer is that $35,000 of any unused 529 funds can now be rolled over into a Roth IRA, which eliminates the penalty for families who saved more than they needed for education. And it creates a powerful, what we call a wealth building strategy where education savings can be seamlessly transitioned to retirement savings. That's
smart. So you're not penalized for being a good saver. What about transportation costs? I know car payments are a big expense for young people.
Yep. It seems like it's getting more expensive for everyone. The Act provides an itemized deduction of up to $10,000 annually for interest paid on loans for U.S. assembled vehicles. This phases out beginning at $100,000 in income for single filers and $200,000 for joint filers. And also, it's worth keeping in mind that this is a provision that's only enforced through 2028, so timing does matter.
Jonathan, I've heard there's something called Trump accounts for newborns. Can you explain what that's all about?
Sure thing, Wayne. The Trump accounts are actually officially called tax-deferred accounts for newborns and children born between 2025 and 2028 and are eligible for those children. The government seeds these accounts with a $1,000 initial deposit and allows for annual parent contributions of up to $5,000. These earnings grow tax-deferred, and qualified withdrawals are also taxed as long-term capital gains. Think of it as a government giving new babies a head start on wealth building. Parents can contribute to these accounts, and by the time that child reaches adulthood, they could have a pretty significant nest egg.
And what about health care? I know that's a major expense for young adults who might not have great employer coverage yet.
Yes, that is a reality for some folks. Starting in January 1st, 2026, Americans enrolled in Bronze or Catastrophic Affordable Care Act plans may contribute to health savings accounts as well. This expands access to around 7.3 million more people, allowing them to take advantage of the triple tax advantages that HSAs offer, which are tax-deductible contributions, tax-free growth, and tax-free withdrawals for medical expenses.
And for young people trying to buy homes in expensive areas?
The law does temporarily raise the state and local tax deduction cap from $10,000 to $40,000 for households earning under $500,000, with annual increases all the way through 2029. For young professionals in high-cost, high-tax areas, like some parts of Connecticut, for example, this change could help make home ownership more attainable by reducing their overall tax burden.
So this probably is where you enter the equation here too, Jonathan. With all these different benefits, how should a young person prioritize? Where should they start?
Well, like we say, it depends. It depends on their situation, Wayne. From current students and recent graduates, I'd say review your student loan repayment options and explore those expanded 529 uses for things like professional development. For young professionals, track your tips and overtime income to maximize those new tax deductions, and definitely evaluate the HSA opportunities if you're using high deductible plans. For parents, consider opening those government-seeded accounts for children born after 2025 and plan 529 contributions with the expanded usage flexibility in mind.
So what's the bigger picture here? How does this all fit together?
Right. So this is impacting lots of Americans across different generations. For Millennial and Gen Z, these changes come at what should feel like a pretty crucial time when they're making these foundational financial decisions that do impact their long-term wealth building. The combination of immediate tax relief, student loan reform, and the enhanced saving opportunities, as well as the support for home ownership, it's going to create multiple pathways for younger Americans to build that financial security.
So, Jonathan, any final advice for our younger listeners?
Yeah, I would say don't let these opportunities pass you by. Many of the benefits require action on the part of the participant. You can't just be a passive beneficiary of these things, whether it's adjusting your student loan repayment plan, opening new types of accounts, or even working with your employer on student loan benefits. The key is really to understand how these provisions work together as part of a comprehensive financial strategy. They aren't what you would consider individual tax breaks. They're building blocks for long-term wealth creation.
And before you go, Jonathan, how can young people get in touch with you if they want to help navigating these new opportunities?
We'd love to help, Wayne. At WHZ, we understand that young clients are in a unique financial phase, and our Plan Well, Invest Well, Live Well process is designed to help make them the most of these opportunities.
For more information regarding wealth management and customized financial planning with WHZ Strategic Wealth Advisors, please visit WHZwealth.com. WHZ Strategic Wealth Advisors offer securities and advisory services through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Fixed insurance products and services offered through CES Insurance Agency. They practice at 697 Pomfret Street, Pomfret Center, Connecticut 06259, and 392A Marrow Road, Tolland, Connecticut 06084. They can be reached at 860-928-2341. WHZ Strategic Wealth Advisors do not provide legal or tax advice. The tenured financial services team strives to support clients in achieving their financial life goals while providing absolute confidence and unwavering partnership for life.